I want to take another look at the metals today. I'm seeing a lot of analysts that are, in my opinion, are still way too bearish on the metals. I think we're getting ready to start a very nice run. Let me point this out. We had a cup and handle pattern form right here in 2018. Here was the cup and the handle, and you can see the magnitude of the rally that unleashed once this strong basing pattern had finished. Now let me go to a much longer term chart. All right, so here's a multi-year chart. You can see we've got this same cup and handle pattern forming, and you can see here's the smaller version. You can see the magnitude of the rally once that powerful basing pattern completed and the next leg up began. There is huge potential here, and I think most of you know the rule by now. The longer the base, the higher in space. This is a 9-year, almost 10-year basing pattern that we're in right now. So the potential once this breaks out is huge, and I'm seeing a lot of analysts are just too bearish. So let me shrink this down a bit. All right, so after that big run out of the March bottom, this was a 4-year cycle low in the stock market. It was a 3-year cycle low in the commodity complex. It also took gold down with it. It was one of the most powerful multi-year cycle lows that I've ever seen. I mean, the selling just infected everything. Everything got squashed. And then gold was the first market to rebound out of that very strongly. And then we produced this really monster rally out of this yearly cycle low. And I saw this in the comments on the premium site when we got our top, and then we get this first move down. The comments were all the same. This is going to be a very mild move, and then we're going to be off to the races again. And that's just, I tried to warn people that probably wasn't what was going to happen. That's not the way the markets work. They work like a pendulum. So the further the pendulum gets pulled in one direction, the deeper the move has to go back in the other before it's ready to move up again, or it needs a long, frustrating sideways consolidation to build the energy for the next move up. And you can see in this case, it's been more of a frustrating sideways grind than a really scary crash type event. But I knew that these traders were wrong when they were saying, this was going to be mild and over quickly, and we were going to be off to the races. I knew this was not going to be over quickly. It was going to be very difficult. I've watched as multiple subscribers, newbie type traders that haven't developed patience yet, they get frustrated with the move and they give up. And many of them gave up right in here, and then of course missed the rally out of this intermediate cycle low. And we timed this pretty good. We got in really close to the bottom, and we got out before the next leg down started. We took a couple short-term trades on the way down, where we just made some short-term profits on the long side. We spotted this bottom here, and I warned people this was not the spot to get leveraged out of this bottom, because these metals bottom different than stocks. They don't typically rocket shot, or rocket launch V bottoms. They tend to be kind of grinding affairs that take a while to develop some momentum. So I warned people. I was pretty sure this was an intermediate bottom, but I said, it's not going to be an easy bottom. It's going to be difficult, and that's exactly what happened. We had to come back down and retest, and we've got a double bottom. Double bottom has held, but the sentiment has swung 180 degrees. At this point up here, everybody was expecting a quick correction. It would be over, and then we're off to the races again. Well, that sentiment is now gone. Nobody is expects that kind of move at this point. Everybody has been converted to bearish sentiment. So they've been trained over the last 8 months to only expect disappointment. So nobody is really very bullish here. except me. I am now extremely bullish on the metals. We've got an intermediate cycle low. We've double bottomed here. We've tested it. It's held. We've made a higher high. And we've got this massive, massive cup and handle pattern that is forming. We're in the handle here. And it looks to me like this is the kind of bottom that is going to signal the end of the handle and the beginning of the next leg up. And like I said, I showed you the result of the cup and handle here. You know, this huge move up was what followed that cup and handle base. It's a very powerful basing pattern. So as I always say, we're contrarians. When everybody else is over the top bullish, I want to get cautious, and when everybody else is bearish and they've become conditioned to expect only disappointment, that's when I want to be bullish. At this top, everybody was expecting gold to just quick correction and then off to the moon again. I knew that wasn't going to happen. Now everybody is expecting only disappointment and only more sideways churn for gold, and I am going to be the opposite. I think we're setting up for a strong trending move, and possibly, maybe even probably, we're ready to break out of this handle consolidation. All right, a couple things here with the miners. The miners are leading this move, which is a good sign. I did a video back here in early March. I noted that the miners were not following gold lower right in here. It was a bottoming sign. It probably meant that we were ready to form an intermediate bottom. I noted at the time the bloodbath phase that was occurring in gold. That's the last 5 to 7 panic days of an intermediate decline. And that was occurring in gold, but the miners were not following gold lower. That was a very positive sign. And then when gold double bottomed, the miners did not. They corrected, but they did not really even get close to this prior bottom. Another very bullish sign. They have now broken out to a higher high. So we've changed this pattern of lower lows and lower highs, and we're now in a pattern of higher highs and higher lows. And then next, we've got, after 8 months, we've got, and now this won't be official until the month is over, but I don't really expect it's going to change. We finally got a weekly swing low on the monthly chart. You can see we made our lower low was last month here, and so far this month, price has traded above the high of last month. So we've got a swing low. We haven't had any of those for 8 months. This did make a higher high, but it also made a lower low, so that doesn't count as a swing low. So we have finally gotten a monthly swing low in the mining stocks. That's another very bullish sign. And then I'll widen the chart here just a little bit, and you can see in a bull market, price doesn't tend to get sentiment doesn't get as bearish, and you don't generally get as oversold during a bull market. And our last really deeply oversold level was here in 2018 as we were forming that cup and handle basing pattern. And even during the crash here, you can see RSI only just kind of didn't even actually tag oversold. Same thing happened here. We got oversold, and now we formed a swing, and RSI is coming back up. In a bull market, or momentum tends to embed in the overbought condition. So simply getting overbought here is not going to be a sell signal. Price can embed for multiple months in the overbought condition during a bull market. So too many people, way too bearish. This 8 months has just conditioned everybody to expect disappointment in the metals, and I think there are a lot of people that are bearish, and they shouldn't be. I think we are probably setting up for a very nice rally here over the next 2 or 3 months, maybe even 4 months. Sometimes these rallies can last up to 5 months. And I don't think it's out of the question that we could test these highs or maybe even make new highs as we start to break out of this handle of the cup and handle base, and that huge cup and handle base. So I'm not in the camp that's bearish anymore in the metals. I'm bullish, and I'm bordering on being extremely aggressively bullish in the metals. All right, so early next week, I mean, there's usually an attack Monday morning on the metals. It's kind of rare not to get some kind of pullback into the previous weekly chart before going higher. You can see it. We pulled back a little bit this week before making new highs. So I would expect there may be an attack Monday or Tuesday, some kind of a small pullback here, but I think you should use those as buying opportunities, and I think we can probably expect the RSI on the weekly charts here to get embedded like it was here and stay overbought for a number of weeks. We're only 6 weeks. We'll be starting the 7th week of this intermediate cycle. I doubt this cycle is going to top before week 15, and it may even go as long as week 20. So I think we got a lot of weeks left before this intermediate cycle is going to top. All right, so I'll put the link to the premium site on the description below, and I'll offer for the rest of the weekend until the open Monday. I'll offer that $20 discount on the first month of a premium subscription to the premium newsletter for new subscribers only, not current or previous subscribers. Just sign up for a monthly subscription, and then I will rebate $20 back to your credit card, and you'll get $20 off on your first month.